Okay, so this is a quick video on how to access the shared team tracking sheet for those of us that are participating in the wildly important goal accountability call, as we call it, the WIG call. This is every Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your Google Drive and you go to the shared with me column, right? And you click on shared with me, and inside the shared with me drive you're going to find the shared team folder. All right, and that's what we're going to be looking at here. All right, so when I click on the shared with me folder, there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff in here, and in here, what are we looking for? It's the second quarter 2017 TPP tracker 40X. All right, and here it is. So maybe if I turn the camera this way, maybe that's better. Okay, so that's how you get there, and this is what it looks like. So this is the home page of it, and what you'll notice is that there's a bunch of tabs down here. The only thing that really matters is the commitments tab, which I'll show you what to do there in a second, and this number 1 tab. Okay, because this is where you're going to find all of us that are participating. Okay, and you know, if you're getting this video, then your name is certainly on this list. So I'm actually updating my numbers right now. So I'll show you exactly what it means and how to update these tracking sheets, and really what it is that we're looking for. Your participation in this call every Wednesday night is critical to not just your development, but the development of your own team and your own organization. So we're doing this so that we can hold each other accountable to the goals that we've set forth for ourselves. And, you know, if we say we're going to do something, then, you know, we have to report it to each other, because, you know, things get done when there are people knowing what we're doing, and there are people that we have to be held accountable to. That's the bottom line. Like, we're not in this business to let ourselves off the hook. Like, I'm in this business for life-changing income, for people to change their lives. Like, I'm not here messing around. So, you know, I hope you're not either. This is beyond just a hobby. This went from a hobby to a full-fledged, burning, white, hot desire. So, anyway, I know I'm a little crazy, but whatever. I am who I am. So anyway, okay, so let's look at me, for example, okay? The WIG is the wildly important goal, all right? And what you can see is there's a committed and an actual column. What the WIG is the WIG is how many recruits would we like to see by the end of this 90-day run that we're on, all right? So in the commitment field, I have 10 committed, all right? In the actual column, you'll see that so far I have 1 recruit. So I'm 10% of the goal. Great. The lead measure, a lead measure is what is the most important thing that you can do day in and day out so that you can, the end result, which is the lag measure, is recruiting. So what's the lead measure? The lead measure are exposures. How many exposures am I going to make to get my lag measure, which is 10 recruits? And what we have figured out is that there is a ratio of 25, every 25 people that opt into our campaigns yields 1 recruit. All right, those are just seemingly the numbers that everybody is experiencing. So 25 to 1. So that's where 250 came in. I know I need to have 250 people opt in, all right, for me to get 10 recruits. All right, and that's really where that number comes from. So my lead measure commitment is to get 250 people to opt into our opportunity campaigns, or whatever campaigns that we're using. And I actually have, as of tonight, because I only got 3 this week, it was a really slow week, I have 31 actual opt-ins so far in this 90-day run. So here's the thing. You're going to have to keep track from week to week on how many opt-ins that you have from week to week. Now, not to make this a full-fledged training course, but I'll show you something really cool that I discovered. If you are using the back office of the Prospect by Legal Shield, what you can do is you can actually track how many opt-ins you've had. Okay, so here's how I do it. I go to Contacts, and then you see up here, there is this Advanced Search right here. So I click on Advanced Search, all right? And now what I can do is, what field am I looking for? Well, I want to know opt-ins. So I highlight opt-in, and then I say, well, from when to when? Well, I track everything from Thursday, all right, to Wednesday, because our call is on Wednesday night. So I want to know, hey, how many people opted in during this week? And all I have to do is set the parameters, and I hit search. And you'll see that I had 3 people opt themselves in. These are the dates that they were added. This is the date that they actually opted in. So 3 people opted in. So that's a quick hack on how to really track how many people are opting in. If you're not just putting it on a pad and paper, everybody's got different ways of tracking. I just want to show you something that is helpful for me, because I've a lot of data in here that I have to sift through, so it makes it really quick for me. So anyway, that's where I got that number from. So back to the tracking sheet. So all I did was I added the amount of opt-ins I had. So I had 28 before, so I added 3, so that's where I come up with 31. Bingo. So that's it. That's all you have to do on this page. And finally, there's this commitments tab. And what are commitments? Commitments are, what are you going to do every week that will help you move the lead measure forward? And remember, what's the lead measure? The lead measure is how many opt-ins are you going to get? All right. So if it's not about getting an opt-in, then it doesn't belong in a commitment. So, there are multiple examples of what a commitment should be. I know Rocco sent out an entire list of them. I'll just summarize a few of them. Blocking out 10 hours to make prospecting calls. Going to my next Super Saturday. Why? Because that is going to give you the motivation that you are looking for, so that you can have the desire to pick up the phone and make a contact. Okay, reading, bookending my day in the morning and in the evening with a personal development book where I could read 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night to work on myself. Well, you know what? If I'm working on myself, then that means that I am going to be willing and wanting to pick up the phone and make some phone calls. So that's an excellent, what's it called? Way to commitment for you to put down, so that you can make your exposures. I mean, think outside the box. Anything that's going to help you make a contact is a commitment. So what we do here, and here's how you kind of decipher this. What we have is every single date that our WIG session is going to be. Okay, and what we do is we track it. Okay, so right now we are at the, what day is it? Sorry about that. So we're going back to my Q2. We are at the, I guess the 22nd is where we would be recording this stuff. And this is what this is what I was supposed to do this week. Okay? So I said I was going to hire Marlon to make initial prospecting calls. Marlon, by the way, is our personal telemarketer for those of us that are in that program, that are paying Marlon to make some phone calls for us and get all the data for all the leads and everything. Whatever. I hired Marlon to make initial prospecting calls for 15 hours this week, while I time blocked my calendar to make follow-up calls. Okay. Clearing the path. What is clearing the path? That means just stuff that I'm doing to help my team out. So if you don't have a team, there's really nothing for you to clear the path on. So anything that you report is for yourself. But when you have a team, there's going to be certain things that you want to do to help them. Like, for example, I make myself available for 3-way calls all the time. So, and I communicate that to my team. So that's clearing the path. That's me doing something, right? It's not necessarily me making my contacts to move the lead measure for me, but I'm clearing the path for my team, because if I make myself available for my team, then my team is going to be able to make the phone calls and get the opt-ins because they know they have the support. That's what clearing the path is. It's anything that you do for your team that's going to help them move the lead measure. You know, that could be like for example, in a couple of weeks we have a power training out in Pennsylvania. 2 of our top income earners are coming out. Well, a clear the path item for me was to promote this to every single one of my associates and actually register them, help them register for that event. Now, that's clearing the path because I know if I get my team out there, they're going to get training from 2 of our top income earners in the company. Then they're going to get the training that they need to go home and do the deal, to pick up the phone, to make the contact so that they can move the lead measure. You get it? Does that make sense? So that's what your commitments are. And look, you don't have to have 3 of them. It could be as simple as, I'm just going to make a couple of phone calls this week. You know, I'm going to make 1 phone call a day, or I'm going to get 2 opt-ins a day. That could be your commitment. Okay? So, you know, I have 3 that I put down. And what I do is I record. So, like, did I actually hire Marlon? Yes, but I know that there wasn't a lot of stuff happening last week for one reason or another. So I'm going to give myself a goose egg on that. I'm going to say no. I did not really accomplish anything that I said I wanted to. Clear the path. I was going to record a live call for my team. Unfortunately, I still didn't do that. So I'm going to give myself a goose egg there. And then my other clear the path is I'm going to record my second recruiting training video for my team that's participating in the Resume Lead program. Yes, I did do that. I recorded that, and I sent it out to a bunch of my team, and I'm really happy I did that. I think it actually came out pretty well. But anyway, so that's how you record that. And now I'm just being honest with myself, and I'm going to report these numbers to the team tonight on the call. And now I'm going to set myself for the next week. What am I going to do this upcoming week? So that's where this column is, okay? So what am I going to do? Well, you know, and the same thing. I'm going to come up with 3 action items that is going to help me move the lead measure for myself, as well as help my team move the lead measure. And that, my friends, is all we need to do to update this spreadsheet. So you should have a notification, or if you go into your Google Drive and you click on the Shared With Me file, okay, so you're in your Drive, you click on Shared With Me, there is going to be a folder called the Shared Team folder, all right? That is where you find all this. You click on that, and there's a whole bunch of resources in here, all right? But the one that we are talking about tonight is this Q2 2017 TPP tracker. That's Team Prosperity Partners. Okay? And we are looking at commitments, and we are looking at the first tab. That is where we report all the data. Okay? Find your name, find your commitment, and start updating the numbers based on how I showed you. And then go to some commitments and go put some commitments out there that you can hold yourself accountable to and have your team hold yourself accountable to. Okay? So I hope that this video was helpful. There shouldn't be any questions now on where to access it, how to access it, and how to update these spreadsheets. I hope you got some value out of this. I'll see y'all on the call every single week, and remember, the best is yet to come. Take care.